In this video, I want to tell you about a few tricks that I skipped in the previous lesson to stick to the main topic: complex trajectories, object stretching, and objects deformation. Complex trajectories. If you need to build a complex trajectory for an object, here are two ways to do this. Manually set animation keyframes. Then adjust easings. If the number of points is higher than required by the easing, apply Rove Across Time. This function connects animation keyframes, allowing you to set an easing when there are many of them. To configure the way an object freezes, you can move a keyframe. It will become a usual one. After it, you will be able to set up the way an object freezes. To make an object automatically rotate while moving along a trajectory, apply Auto Orientation. Right-click, Transform, Auto Orient, and select Orient Along Path. The second way is to create Path, a trajectory mask, and copy it to the position parameter of an object. But you need to understand that the number of points on a mask is equal to the number of animation keyframes. Moreover, the path will repeat the shape of a mask. You should define where an object will freeze or accelerate straight away to configure easings later. When you copy the mask to position, keyframes are automatically created in the Rove Across Time mode. So if you do not need it on all keyframes, you will need to turn it off partially or completely. It is important that an object for which you are creating path has scale set to 100% and rotation set to 0 degrees. Otherwise, path you will paste into path of the object will be incorrect. Object stretching. Apart from the techniques that we have covered in the previous lesson, objects can be stretched with motion blur and the levels effect. We have an animated letter. Let's enable motion blur and set the number of samples in the advanced composition settings. Let's create an adjustment layer and apply the levels effect to it. Select the alpha mode and adjust it using the histogram until you get the desired result. This method is not bad, but the length of the stretching depends on the speed of an object. Due to this, it is difficult to achieve the result you need. Another option is the Minimax effect. It creates additional pixels for a layer. It works in the alpha and color mode. In operation, select maximum. In direction, select just horizontally. And now we compensate the movement using the transform effect. Parent position its value along the x-axis to the stretch value. To stretch in the other direction, change the value in the expression to negative. Object deformation. The CC Bendit effect is often used to deform objects. Set the start and end points for the object, and everything is ready. All deformations will occur relative to the start point. To deform only on one side, select Static here. There is also quite an interesting mirror effect. It reflects everything that is near the start point. Sometimes bend and bounce produce defects near the start point. To fix this, set the bend parameter to 0.1 instead of 0, and the issue will be resolved. As you can recall, to make bend follow the shape layer, you need to write the toComp value expression for start and end. But if the shape is pre-composed, you will not need it. The same goes for slant and CC bender. Bender works like bend and slant effects combined. The warp is also used to create various types of deformation. To ensure its stable work, you need to put the shape in the composition of the size of the shape. It is great for creating squashes and stretches, and other things. The mesh warp effect creates a grind with controllers that will allow you to deform objects. Another tool you can use for this is Pin tool. It's better to use it for minor additional movements, since it usually heavily distorts the form of the shape, even if you set a good mesh.